Aloha and welcome to Tapestry Players' first ever virtual theater offering. We dearly miss being together in the Rotunda Theater with our fellow artists and you, our loyal audience. Our goal for this production was to provide a little laugh and a quick respite from current events. Our show was recorded using Zoom technology. I venture to say that a large percentage of us have by now experienced the occasional glitches and difficulties of that platform. So we thank you in advance for your forgiveness of those few spots here. We are grateful that you've tuned in. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy President Gilligan.
Skipper, why don't we get Gilligan to help us with this well?
Gilligan help? Professor, you've been out in the sun too long.
All I have to do is dig. He can't do anything wrong if he's just digging.
Yeah? All right, let's find out. Gilligan!
Now, nothing of pretentious, Gilligan. You understand me now. A simple, flowing, 15-room mansion. Right, Lovey? I mean, we have 4 baths, you understand, and we'll have the servants' quarters will be over there.
Gilligan!
Oh, that's the skipper. I gotta run.
No, you'll do nothing of the sort. You see, we're planning the Howell Hills estate.
And you don't want to get him in trouble with the skipper, dear.
Lovey, we are no longer on shipboard. You see now, this is exactly the way I want this little estate built.
Gilligan!
I gotta go. Later.
Stand your ground, Gilligan.
If I do, I'll be buried in it.
Let the boy go, dear.
He's no longer a boy, Lovey. He is a man.
Gilligan!
I'm a boy.
Skipper, you're interrupting a business conference, and besides, you're standing in the powder room.
Business conference? Powder room? Gilligan, will you get over there and start digging?
Aye, aye, sir.
Come back here, Gilligan.
Get going, Gilligan.
Come back here, Gilligan.
Get going, Gilligan.
Come back here.
I gave him an order.
And I gave him a job.
I wish I were twins.
Maybe we should talk a coin.
Coin?
Oh, of course, I mean a $100 bill, dear.
I'm having enough trouble running this island without a mutiny.
Well, who told you that you are running this island?
I am the skipper.
At sea, you're the skipper. On land, I'm the chairman of the board.
Professor, will you tell these people who's in charge of this island?
Well, actually, no one is.
No one?
No one? Good heavens, this is anarchy!
It is not. I am in command.
No, I am running this island.
Gentlemen.
I've got an idea. Why don't we vote? You know, like an election.
An election?
An election! That's wonderful. Yes, I'll spend millions on my campaign.
That's unfair.
You're right, it is unfair. Instead, I'll buy them.
And I know that this is going to be a good, clean, hard-fought battle, right down to the wire.
That's right, Professor. There's no room for dirty politics on this island.
No, I think we can make a little room for something like that. Eh, Professor?
And just one thing at that. Let's get this election over with as soon as possible so we can all get back to work on the well.
That's fine with me, Professor. I'm ready for that election at any time now.
Wait a minute, Captain. When are you coming out of your smoke-filled hut and really face the issue, huh?
What issues, Mr. Howell?
Well, I'm sure you'd like to know what my learned opponent thinks, for example, of slum clearance, of tideland oil drilling, of free school lunches.
But Mr. Howell,
I would like to meet him in a face-to-face debate on public transportation, coconut conservation, and high-rise building.
Now, see here, Howell.
Now, wait a minute. You're going to have to face on the issues, Captain, and you better give them some thought.
Well, in the first place, who's going to ask a lot of stupid questions like that?
Mrs. Howell. And I beg of you, dear friends, do not place more burden on the fragile shoulders of our dear gallant captain who lies sleepless in his bed at night. Sleepless in his bed at night.
Ridden with guilt.
Thank you. Yes. Ridden with guilt. Ridden with guilt about the shipwreck, which was his fault. Ridden with guilt about the loss of the transmitter, which was his fault. Filled with shame about his lack of qualities of leadership, which was his mother's fault. What this island needs is a president like me, one who's brave, true, royal, devoted, and faithful, and above all, modest.
Okay, Gilligan, try this on for size. And I say to you, don't change leaders in mid-ocean. Elect me first president, the man who's first at sea, on land, and first father of your island.
That was great, Skipper.
Oh, you really think so, Gilligan?
Yeah, only can we vote for George Washington?
George Washington?
Isn't that who you were talking about?
No, Gilligan, I was talking about me. Hey, why should people vote for me?
I don't know.
Well, think.
I got it. Because you're the skipper and you'll threaten them.
No, that won't work.
Works with me.
But you're different.
I am?
Well, certainly. You're my crew. I can threaten you. Oh, I've got to woo the voters.
You don't woo me. I'd rather be threatened.
Not you, Gilligan. The girls. Ginger, are you home?
Hello, Skipper.
Lovely flowers for a lovely lady.
Oh, gee, they're lovely. But, oh, those are the flowers the professor said are poisonous.
Poisonous? Poisonous?
Shame on you.
What did I do?
Trying to buy my vote?
Well, I did nothing of the kind, Marianne. It's perfectly proper for a presidential candidate to want to hire a secretary.
At $50,000 a year.
Well, good secretaries are hard to find.
I'm not even a good secretary, Mr. Howell. As a matter of fact, I'm not even a secretary. I'm only a clerk.
A clerk? Oh, a clerk. In that case, 100,000. Group insurance? Fringe benefits? I am not going to insult your intelligence by attempting to bribe you.
But gee, Mr. Howell, I don't see what one thing has to do with the other.
Are you suggesting that perhaps you could be bribed?
Everybody says I've got an open mind.
Ginger, off this island, I'm a very wealthy and important man. As a matter of fact, I'm thinking of buying Hollywood.
Hollywood?
Yes. Don't you think you ought to have a star on your dressing room door?
Oh, gee, Mr. Howell. I mean, Mr. President. Gilligan. Hello.
Who are you talking to?
You.
Me?
You're the only one here, aren't you?
Yeah, but I'm just me.
I know.
Yeah, but you've never been so friendly to me before.
Well, there's always a first time for everything, isn't there?
I must be dreaming.
Pinch yourself and see.
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm here. And I just remembered, I'm campaigning. Vote for the skipper.
Gilligan,
Yeah.
come here. Come closer, Gilligan. Gilligan, would you do me an extra special favor? Vote for Howell.
Gilligan, my boy, have you ever thought about yourself?
Have I ever thought, what about myself?
What I mean is, what you want to be in life.
Oh, sure. Sometimes I lie awake at night and I think, if I try hard and obey the skipper's orders, maybe someday I'll be junior petty officer.
Gilligan, how would you like to be Secretary of the Navy?
Secretary of the Navy? You gotta be kidding me. I don't even know how to tie a knot.
You're just being modest.
No, I'm not. Look.
Well, I mean, who ever heard of the Secretary of the Navy tying his own knot? I'll assign some able-bodied seaman to perform such menial chores for you.
Where are we gonna find an able-bodied seaman?
Here comes one now.
Gilligan, why are you talking to Howell?
Sorry, Skipper.
Don't be afraid, Gilligan. In a few hours, he'll be working for you.
What?
He means...
What I mean is, when I'm president, Gilligan is going to be Secretary of the Navy.
Secretary of the Navy? Gilligan is going to be secretary. Why aren't you laughing, Gilligan?
I was just thinking how nice it would be to have someone tie my shoelaces.
All right, folks, you've all initialed your official ballots. Now, thought carefully before marking them, because what you write on your ballot counts. Now, who wants to vote first?
I do.
Women and children first. That's what I stand for.
See what I mean? Who wants a president who would let the children vote?
I'll vote first, Professor.
Ginger, you're next.
A star is born.
What was that all about?
Inside joke.
All right, now, everyone else, cast your ballot.
All right, Gilligan, I want you to get in there and vote, but before you do, I want you to think about all the things that I've done for you.
Aye, sir.
Oh, wait a minute. On second thought, maybe you better not think about all the things.
Remember, no man can tell you how to vote, Mr. Secretary.
All right, everyone, it's time to count our results. Now, the first ballot is for the skipper.
Yay!
Oh, that's my little buddy.
The second ballot is for Mr. Howell.
Ooh.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary.
The third ballot is for the skipper, who now leads 2-1. The fourth ballot is for Mr. Howell.
Oh, yippee!
Isn't that exciting? Now it's 2-all.
The fifth ballot is a write-in vote for Gilligan.
Oh, let me see
Let
that.
me see that. Why, that's Lovey's handwriting.
Yes, it is. I decided that it was time you let somebody else run everything. Then we could have that honeymoon you've been promising me all these years.
Why, you romantic schemer, you. Later. Election.
The vote is tied at 2-2.
And one for Gilligan.
Well, I hardly think it's necessary to mention that, Marianne.
Certainly, Marianne.
The sixth ballot is for Gilligan.
Gilligan is my man, too.
The vote still stands at 2 votes for the skipper and 2 for Mr. Howell.
And 2 write-in votes for Gilligan.
The deciding vote is missing.
Missing?
Oh, I've got it right here.
What's the matter, Gilligan? Isn't our ballot box good enough for you?
I was afraid it might get lost.
That means I win.
That means I'm elected.
I'm sorry, gentlemen. You've both lost.
Well, that's impossible.
Well, then who is the president?
Gilligan?
President Gilligan.
Hey, little buddy, what you doing?
I was cleaning up the White House. Look, Skipper, I didn't mean to win the election. Honest, I was on your side.
There's no need to apologize. I just came by here to offer my congratulations. Now people have made their choice, and whether it is right or wrong, we're stuck with it.
Maybe we have to count the votes again. Make sure I won.
Well, there's no need to do that either. Howell and I have counted them 4 times already.
Well, I sure feel awful about winning, especially when I wasn't even running.
The fact is, you did win, Gilligan. And that's why I'm here. I can hardly call myself a friend if I didn't offer you a word of warning.
A word of warning? About what?
The power seekers. Huh. I think I see one now. Men will seek you out, call themselves friends. They'll flatter you, they'll fawn on you. These men are dangerous. All they want is a high position in your government. These men are not to be trusted, and you've got to guard against them.
Guard against them how?
Well, that's where I come in. You just leave it to me. That's part of my job as second in command. Now, I can't tell you who these men are, but
Hello there.
here comes one of them now.
I just stopped by to offer you my heartiest congratulations on your rather shocking victory.
Yeah, it was kind of a surprise to me, too.
Yes, the way I look at it, it could have been worse.
Well, if you're finished, Howell, the president and I are busy setting up a new administration.
That's exactly why I'm here.
Well, that's exactly what I thought.
Oh, Mr. President, before I forget, here's a little small but terribly expensive token of my esteem.
A box of esteemed tokens. Thanks, Mr. Howell.
You see, they're solid gold cufflinks.
Mr. Howell, I don't know how to thank you.
That's what he's just about to tell you, Gilligan.
Well, I don't expect thanks. I came by to pay my respects and to offer my humble service to whatever high office the president might designate.
Howell, I must admit, I'm surprised by your attitude.
The leader's wish is but my command.
Oh, you can start by cleaning up the White House. That ought to be humble enough.
Just exactly who do you think you are?
I'm the vice president.
The vice president? Well, how did you get that job?
By getting here before you did.
Mr. Howell, you want your box of cufflinks back?
Do you think I'm the kind of man who would take back a bribe?
I'd like to give you something in return.
Well, I expect to get something in return. What exactly do you have open?
Do you know how to make a good knot? Skipper, what can we offer Mr. Howell?
Well, we have Secretary of Labor, the Secretary of Defense, the Secretary of State.
Yeah, we could offer you one of those secretary positions. Do you know how to take shorthand typing?
No. You see, Mr. President, I think my background, the ideal job for me would be Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Oh, but that's a very important position. Have you had any legal experience?
The government has convicted me 6 times on antitrust suits, and I've been investigated every year for income tax evasion.
That's good enough for me. How about you, Skipper?
Well, any man who can stay out of jail with a record like that has got to know something about the law.
Indeed, I do. Now, the first thing on my agenda is to investigate a plot to overthrow the government.
What plot to overthrow the government?
The one I started right after the election. See you at the inaugural luau, Mr. President.
It is my honor to introduce to you a man known to us all, a man respected for his courage, his dedication of duty, his leadership, a true giant among men, our President Gilligan.
Yes, President, Mr. President. Bravo, bravo. Speech.
Ladies and gentlemen, and honored guests, I accept the responsibilities that you've given to me.
Come on, everyone,
And
please, while it's fresh. But, oh, I'm so sorry, Gilligan. I mean, Mr. President.
That's okay, folks. You go on ahead and finish dinner. I just jotted down a few things that I wanted to say, and it was right here a minute ago. Well, Mr. Howell, excuse me, but that napkin, I think it's my speech.
Oh, yes, it tastes a little inky.
First of all, I believe...
Would you pass me that guava sauce?
Sure, Mr. Howell. There you are, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Now, the first...
Would you pass this down, please? Thank you.
You're welcome. It's hot. Here, Mr. Howell, here. Well, now down to the important business. As you all know, our water supply is getting short, and we have to pitch in and build a well.
Oh, I wish I knew who cooked these jellied sand dabs.
Oh, I did, Mrs. Howell. Do you like them?
Oh, they're delicious. Thurston, you must try them. You'd believe you were at Antoine's.
Yes, you must try my jellied sand dabs.
Now, about the jellied sand, about digging the well. Now, look, folks, if we all pitch in, I figure we can build that well in one day. Now, if we all...
You know, this is the best meal I've had since I've been on the island.
Thank you, Skipper.
I think I need a walk.
Ginger, please give me that recipe when you get a chance.
Oh, I will, Marianne.
Digging the well should go... we have to have fresh water. Please, Mr. and Mrs. Howell, Ginger, Professor, as Secretary of Agriculture, I think it's necessary that you should find out where we should dig the well.
You rang, Mr. President?
Yeah, Mrs. Howell. It's almost after 4 o'clock. Has anybody come in to see me?
No, they haven't, Mr. President.
Maybe somebody stopped by while you were away from your desk.
I've been sitting on that oil drum all day, Mr. President.
What's my schedule for tomorrow?
Oh, let me check here. Well, there's nothing in the morning. Oh, but in the afternoon, you haven't got anything.
What time's my cabinet meeting?
5 o'clock, but the vice president canceled it. He had a fishing date with the Chief Justice.
Where's the rest of my cabinet?
They're all swimming in the lagoon. Oh, all except for the Secretary of Health and Welfare.
Good. What's she doing?
Her hair.
Well, somebody's got to dig that well.
You're right, Mr. President. You are absolutely right.
Skipper, you got a minute?
Sure, Gilligan, come on in. That is, Mr. President.
Skipper, I need your help. I'm worried. I'm real worried about that well.
You look worried.
I do?
Sure do, and frankly, I've been worried about you.
You have?
Yes, but I don't want you to worry about that. You have enough to worry about without worrying about the way you look, which is terrible.
Really?
But Gilligan, never mind that. Now, take a look at this hut. Now, does this look like the office of a vice president?
No, Skipper, it doesn't.
It is beneath our dignity, isn't it?
Yes, sir, it is.
Right. Now, can you help me with this junk?
Sure, Skipper. What about the... Skipper, about the well?
What seems to be the problem?
Our old water supply is running low. We got to dig a new well quick.
Oh, hey, that's not too heavy for you, is it?
No.
And we'll put it right in that corner. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, there we go, Gilligan.
About the water situation, sir?
Oh, you're having a problem with the water?
Yeah, Skipper. Same problem.
Wait a minute, Gilligan.
Yeah?
I've got an idea.
Yeah?
Yeah, I think I'll put my desk over there. Would you bring this back over and put it on this wall?
Sure, Skipper, wherever you want, but we got to make a decision about the well.
Oh, now, Mr. President, have you made any decisions about the well?
Uh-huh.
And what are you going to do?
I'm going to drop these boxes.
Oh!
And I'm going to go see the Chief Justice.
Oh, Gilligan!
About the well. I hate to disturb you, Chief Justice.
Well, that's all right. Never too busy to talk to the president.
I want to ask you your opinion about that well we have to dig.
Oh, the well. Well, I've been lying here and giving it a lot of consideration. Now, similar case of Fletcher versus Bronson, you see. The municipal court held a previous ruling and they found for the defendant, and even after the case was appealed, the court refused to reverse the decision in spite of the new evidence. I've taken all of that into consideration.
And what have you decided to do?
And I've decided to give it a little more thought. Nighty-night.
Hi, I hate to barge in like this, but I figure maybe you could help me. I went to see the vice president at first, but he was so busy fixing up his office that he couldn't help me. And I went to see the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, but he got lots of problems too. I mean, in the case of Fletcher and Bronson, and even have to appeal it, it got very complicated. So I was hoping maybe something you could do.
Well, let me see. There must be something I could do.
About the well. I'm going to make this meeting as short as possible. I know you've all had a busy day.
Here, here.
Unless the well is finished, we're going to run out of drinking water.
Well, that's very true, Mr. President. We certainly do need a well.
Well, that's exactly my thinking, Skipper.
And we're behind you all the way, Mr. President.
You're the best president we have ever elected.
Thanks, Ginger.
I mean, even if I don't get a star on my dressing room door.
We're here with you, sir.
And how about helping me dig the well?
Well, I can't help you, Mr. President. I'm in the midst of settling a strike.
What strike?
Oh, the Secretary of Health and Welfare won't help me in the kitchen anymore.
Well, I'm not on strike. I have my own work to do now. How can I wash the dishes and build a hospital at the same time?
A hospital? What for? We don't even have a doctor.
Well, but when the hospital's finished, I'm going to build a medical school.
Don't count on me, sir. I'm involved in a very serious judicial matter.
What are you working on now, Mr. Howell?
Your impeachment.
You're trying to impeach the president? On what grounds?
Well, he accepted a bribe from a sort of power man favor seeker. That's what it is.
I never gave him a dime.
Well, I did. I gave him a pair of solid gold cufflinks.
That's a pretty serious charge, Mr. Howell. Do you have any witnesses?
Well, I certainly do. I happen to have 5 of them.
That's impossible. I was the only one in the room at that time that you gave him the bribe.
Aha! There you are. Thank you very much. I'm going to call you as a witness at the impeachment proceedings.
Why do you want to impeach a president that's doing such a good job for us?
Oh, nonsense. There's no water down there.
Mr. Howell, I've had it. You don't have to impeach me. I quit.
And I've
There's
All right,
still
everyone.
dust.
Voting on
You're
your
welcome.
official ballot.
Quiet down now.
Carefully before your-
President Gilligan would like to say a few words.
Thank you. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for attending this cabinet meeting.
You're welcome.
We love being here.
Delighted to be here.
And now that we've solved our water problem, I think we ought to get started on our next project, a lookout tower.
Lookout tower? That's an excellent idea, Mr. President.
Oh, you mean a high-rise sort of thing.
That sounds marvelous. What is it?
If we build a real tall tower, a ship or a plane may spot us and we'd be rescued.
Oh, excellent. We could be rescued.
Good, wonderful, Gilligan.
Oh, I'm glad you all like the idea. I have the bamboo poles and vines right there, and we can begin construction right now. Mr. Howell, do you think you could help me?
No, I have to go, Mr. President. A lot of cases on the docket. Supreme Court decisions can't wait, you know.
Mrs. Howell,
And
maybe you...
I have to go take dictation from Mr. Howell.
Professor, do you think...
I'm sorry, Mr. President. I've got a scientific report to finish.
Marianne, maybe you?
Well, I think I better go check the food supply.
Ginger, do you think...
Have to wash my hair, Gilligan.
Skipper, do you think you might be able to...
Well, it's just the idea, Mr. President. You've done some wonderful things for the island, and everybody's behind you 100%.
I sure hope I can get reelected.
Oh, I'm sure you will be. Do a good job, Gilligan.
Now, we all...